I started trading maybe 2017, I think. And I've been doing it since I tried probably everything. Focus on one session, focus on one setup, focus on one pair. I figured out that the more simple it is, the more easier it is like to practice.
Good morning, Nikolai. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, thanks for doing the interview. Thanks for taking the time. Maybe you could just introduce yourself to the community. Tell us a bit about yourself, where you're living, how long you've been trading, that kind of thing.
Yeah, my name's Nikolai. I prefer Nick because it's easier for everyone.
Nick, okay, Nick.
I'm from Bulgaria. I started trading maybe 2017, I think. And I've been doing it since today, yeah. And my plan is to continue moving forward, and yeah.
Great. Okay, so you're trading full time?
Yeah, I trade full time. I trade forex full time. I also trade stocks essentially, but it's not trading, it's more like investing. So I would say the main thing I do is like forex on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a day trader?
Depends. I don't want to point some stigmas, but it depends. Some days I prefer not to trade. It can even happen like 1-2 weeks. I just do a pause. But when I open positions, I tend to get in today and try to close out the position by the end of the day. I don't want to hold anything overnight.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Who knows what happens overnight, hey? Swap rates, slippage, spreads, who knows? Yeah.
Especially
so what do you trade?
Yeah, especially when COVID happened, I decided stop holding overnight.
Yeah, no reason to these days. So what do you trade exactly? You majors or just a mixture of things?
Well, when I started, I had like 4 or 5 pairs that I used to trade, like euro dollar, pound dollar, gold, GBP AUD as well. But to be honest, the more I, let's say, matured on the markets, I started to prefer to like focus on 2-3 pairs. And since maybe one year and a half, I started only looking at euro, US dollar. And like that's my main focus, and that's the only thing I look at on the markets on a daily basis.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense to focus your attention on either 1 or 2 pairs. Get familiar with how it trades. So, any particular style of trading? Any concepts which appeal to your type of trading?
To be honest, it's been like 2007, like 6-7 years I've been on the market, and it's safe to say, really, I tried probably everything, like everything from indicators to like anything. And what, let's say, matched my vibe is focus on one session, focus on one setup, focus on one pair, like as you mentioned, because when you focus, for example, on one pair, it's like a car, so euro dollar moves a certain way. And if you focus on gold, it's like, for example, a Ferrari, it goes
crazy.
very fast. It's crazy. So it's more about like finding through experience in trading, just finding which currency matches your personality type, and you just stick to it because you click at one point. So
yeah. Okay, all right. And you mentioned you've been through, obviously, we all go through the usual things, looking at various indicators, retail indicators, MACD, RSI, and we end up throwing it all out. What do you focus? What's your strategy built around now? Is it smart money or is it supply demand? What is it?
Well, to be honest, before I thought, like you mentioned with the indicators, I thought the more complex it is, like the more edge I'm going to have. But slowly, at least for me, I figured out that the more simple it is, the more easier is like to practice, and you don't get lost in the whole process. So it's not like analysis paralysis. So you just focus on the simple things. So with me is I look to open trades when the session opens. So for example, London Open, New York Open, the first 30-40 minutes, I don't know, I wait for the session, to see, okay, cool, is it gonna wick above supply and demand and change character, for example, and go down, or the opposite? And I just wait for the market like to wake up, to play out everything that's happening, and then I try to position myself. And you can see it supply demand as well as the session highs, session lows, like looking at previous day, where's the New York low, London low, most of the time these tend to be on the same level, so you can draw a supply or demand there. And essentially, even if you check on the 4-hour and daily, these session lows and highs, they're gonna match with the 4-hour and daily, because the small time frames build up the higher time frames. So
Okay, all right. So what would be a typical setup? Maybe you could share a screen, give us an example of a fairly typical euro-dollar trade that you would be looking to take. Have you traded this week?
Yeah, even today I was thinking to do a setup, but like I skipped it. But I can share my screen.
Yeah, just give us an idea of what you're looking for.
You see my screen probably.
Yeah, we can see euro-dollar. Yeah, 4-hour and 5-minute. Yeah.
Yeah, this is on 5. It's not normally here, but yeah. So essentially, yeah, this is what I was looking at today. I'm just gonna turn on my session. I use this normally before. When I started trading, there weren't many of these indicators, so I had to look at the clock, like draw the lines, and figure out where the sessions are. So essentially today what I was looking at was, you see here, my main focus is on the 5 minutes on the right side. Here, if it's gonna be 30 minutes, 4-hour, 1 hour, regardless, the zones are the same. So I look, for example, here I had the London high, New York high, Tokyo high. The next day, yesterday's London high, New York high, and today as well. You see Tokyo came to test this whole zone as well as London. So like I said, I can just plot it here like this. I'm just gonna copy it to the other chart as well. And essentially I wait for price like test this zone, and as soon as it tested, like where London opened, let me just open it here so it's easier for everyone. Okay, cool. So when London opened here, it tested one time, retraced, then again tested the second time. So my main focus to look for a setup is, okay, cool, I have this high here, focusing on the day, and I have this, it's here on this wick over here. So essentially what I'm looking for, okay, cool, the session open, I have a zone here, I have this structure here, and I was looking essentially for a break of structure. So if it broke out above, then I would go long essentially, because this zone's been tested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So I was gonna look for a breakout and look for a long position, but here actually it managed to do the opposite and break below the structure. So so as well as that, it broke. So it depends on the type of person I enter on the breakup structure here. I just sometimes I wait for 1 or 2 candles, because it can do a false breakout and then reverse. So sometimes I just wait for the next 1 or 2, 3 candles just to see how the market is. And essentially here, this for me was good confirmation as well, because it broke the previous Asia low here. And now for me, what I would look for is, see it here. Breakup structure, so you can enter here, you can enter on the retest, and especially here after it broke the Asia low. Now I would be looking like plotted on the chart for a short. And the take profit, if I paste it on this side, as you can see, I'm targeting the previous
yesterday's low. Okay.
The previous day low. So I would say it's quite, like, it looks simple, but I think the main thing that I focus on is not having a daily bias. So just waiting for the market to open, like see, okay, cool, is it gonna go up, is it gonna go down? Because and like I mentioned, the 1 time frame part, if you look at 4-hour, maybe it's bullish. If you look at 1 hour, maybe it's bearish. If you look at 30 minutes, you have all these different biases on all these different time frames. And essentially, if you just focus on 1 or 2 time frames, you cannot get that mixed up in the whole market. So like I said, 1 pair, 1 time frame, listen to what the market is saying, don't fight the market. With experience, I used to fight the market and I never won. So
you can't beat the market. No,
you can't. So I was like, okay, cool, let's just follow the market and look for, like, let's label them class A setups. So I just wait for the class A setup to appear and take it from there. And of course, managing the position along the way. This I don't think it can be taught. I think everyone need to have the experience to look at the market, look at the price action. Okay, cool, what's happening? Okay, cool, if we break this high, is it a change of structure? Are we gonna go long if it breaks this? But like I said, I don't tend to complicate. I tend to make things simple. So even with this position, maybe it's gonna be the one for the day. Even if it hits stop loss, okay, cool. If it hits stop loss, then if there's a break of structure and you enter long on the New York session, okay, cool. The New York session can come back. And if the market is ranging, you're gonna get stopped out now, and you're gonna get stopped out in the New York session. So it's gonna be like a whipsaw. So I think experience kicks in here, and like as cliche as it sounds, just handle yourself, handle your emotions, and just listen to the market.
Okay, so now you're presumably short. Would you be looking to manage this trade actively? Would you move your stops to break even, or are you just going to sit on this and wait for it to either hit TP or stop loss?
Well, it depends. Like for now, with the move, it did taking this entry point here. So essentially, it went like 1-to-1.
Yeah.
And again, depends on the time frame you chose. Okay, the 4-hour had a good fall. This is a previous zone here as well. Like you can drag it, like I mentioned. So with this one, I would presumably as well. There's no news today from what I see on the calendar. So no NFP, nothing crazy. So I would wait for this position to play out because, like I said, I don't want to micromanage it. For example, move my stop to this high or move my stop to break even, because essentially bringing my stop to break even it's not invalidated. My invalidation is over here. If you break this, it's going to be invalidated. But if I move my stop to zero, it's like, why? Just like trying to save money and save the risk. But you can just come here, test this high, and break below, and okay, cool. You're at zero. The trade is still valid. So.
Okay, so you don't actively manage. You're not looking for some kind of lower time frame invalidation. You'll just sit on this trade now and let it either take profit or hit your stop loss. Sure. Okay. That's fine.
At this point, okay, cool. If we drop here, for example, if we come like a bit lower, maybe close to take profit, of course, I'm not going to let, let's say if you enter with 1% risk, if it's running 3-4%, of course, I will never let it even get close to zero. I would like look to maybe scale out at like, if I'm at 3% profit, if it comes back to 2%, and I look at the structure and time frames, and especially if, for example, New York is opening, I would be like, okay, cool, let me just secure some profit because I've been in this position for like 4 hours, and if it hits my stop on zero, it's like I wasted 5 hours and I was looking at the charts for nothing. So
makes sense to take some partials just to protect your mindset a little bit. You don't want to, like you say, you don't want to be sitting in a trade for 4 or 5 hours. 2 to 3% in profit, and then it comes right back at you and takes you out. That's not what you want. That's not encouraging, is it? So it makes sense to take some partials. Okay, all right, fairly straightforward. I think I understand it. Yeah, so basically higher time frame levels, let them get retested, maybe at the start of a London or a New York session, and then look to see if there's some kind of confirmation of direction based on either a failed breakout or a continuation trade to the downside. Sure. Okay. Like it. Nice and straightforward. Have you back tested this strategy? You got any statistics, win rates?
Yeah, with me, I think my win rate is like passing the accounts and doing the withdrawals, because I've met with people, I've networked with people who have like tested strategy X, for example, and in the back test, they're like, okay, cool, I have 60-70% win rate, etc., etc. And when they start the funded account and like, they don't pass it. So even in the hedge fund space, it's like past performance doesn't indicate future performance.
No, of course.
So it's like, of course, they backtest it, check it. If it if it plays out, even like test it live on a demo. Because for me, especially with this type of trading, it's super easy to like open the chart and be like, oh yeah, I would enter here. Oh, of course I would move my stop, because you see what happened. But now, like when you don't know what happened and you're live on the market, it's a way different story because you cannot cheat the market. Like, and for me, back testing, you can do it if you have the experience and like being super honest with yourself. Because if you lie on the back testing, you're lying yourself. You're not lying the market or anyone else. You're gonna lie to yourself, and the results are gonna show it. So if you're backtesting, you need to be like really, even be in a situation, be like, okay, it's gonna hit my stop here. So it's better to write down a stop loss than a fake profit. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you use a couple of indicators, just basically session indicators and some kind of break of structure indicator. Just I guess just a visual confirmation maybe of trade.
Just to confirm, if it's like if it's a hectic day, I'm doing something else, which in those days I tend not to trade, but still like having this as a confirmation, be that with time difference and etc. If I'm in another country, for example, it's easier for me to keep a track of these things, but of course don't let them like indicate what to do, because the main weapon, the main indicator you got is up here, so you need to use that all the time.
Okay. Do you use anything else to back up your biases? Nothing, just simply one higher time frame and one execution time frame. Okay. I like it. Keep it simple.
Simple. That's my main thing, because you can get confused. Like here, if you get, for example, emotion or anything, like where you're gonna make the mistake, it's super straightforward. You cannot like make a mistake. You're waiting for the session open, you're waiting for the zones, you're waiting for break of structure, imbalance, fair value gap, whatever you're gonna use. It's like, as long as it's simple, you cannot break your plan.
No, it makes sense. Keep it straightforward. Too many time frames, you can just you can make up a story if
for every time frame you can make up a story. 4 hour long, but the daily is short. Okay, daily is higher than 4 hours, so I'm gonna look at the daily, and you just get confused.
No, as day traders, we just simply need a couple of time frames, maybe hourly and 5 minute. Great combinations. Okay, Nick, thanks for sharing the screen. You can stop that share now. So good stuff. Nice, easy to follow strategy. So any tips you could give to traders out there who are struggling to get funded? I mean, we've already touched on, keep it simple, and anything else that you could maybe offer?
Main thing is like, for me, maybe the game changer was using funded accounts, because trading with your own capital, it's a bit more, when you take the loss, it comes out really out of your pocket. Like forex is one of the markets that, like, when you take a stop, it just takes the money straight away. And with funded accounts, it's a very good way to leverage your skills, as long as you got them, and I know a lot of people that changed that with personal accounts. They didn't make any money. They were like, at this level stuck. But at one point, when they got funded and everything, started to like grow and progress, and they changed their life. So for me, this was the main game changer. And like, keep it simple, focus on the funded accounts, and like, don't listen to people, because there's so many people in the forex space online. Just don't listen to people who you haven't seen post either a certificate, a withdrawal, like having a real like track record. For me, that's the most important thing, because everyone, can put up lifestyle, expensive car, expensive watch, and be like, I woke up today, I made this, but essentially they're selling courses. They're not.
You can always hire a Lamborghini for the day.
You can always tell who's actually in the market by the way they speak, and who's like just selling a dream. And,
it's pretty obvious straight away, isn't it? All right, that's good stuff. Thanks. So you're happy with FundedNext, obviously, happy with the environment, the platform, the spreads. Obviously, Eurodollar must be pretty much zero spreads, I imagine, when you're trading MT5.
With everything so far, like the whole process, even the first account I bought, I passed phase 1, phase 2, and did a withdrawal. I didn't like have to like lose account. So even talking to support, everything was fast, straightforward. Good. If I had a small issue, I just messaged them, and they sorted in like 20-30 minutes. They send me via email. I see the tickets and everything. So I think it's well-organized platforms. I use not all of, but maybe all of the top 10 brokers, and so far, like, your company is up to par with everything, and with payouts as well, like the new update you did for the 24-hour payout. Even before, I used to get them fast, but even now it's like You gotta, even when you know there's a guarantee, because everyone in the industry is like thinking the opposite. Oh, are they gonna pay me? And here you look like, okay, cool, they're gonna pay me in 24 hours. So it's like, extra confirmation. So
No, we got a good system, good platform, all in-house technology. We're not using any third-party issues, so we don't have any problems with, I know there's certain issues in the industry at the moment with lots of prop firms getting cut off from third-party providers, so we don't have any of those issues.
Sorry to interrupt. I think if they have a certain two words in the name, all of them tend to go down.
Yeah.
if you spot the pattern between the last two platforms, the last two words are the same.
Yeah. A lot of them are owned. A lot of them are owned by the same company, so let's not get into that. So, all right. Well, thanks for your time, Nick. Good luck with the funded accounts, and hopefully speak to you again. See you.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.
See you, Nick. Bye.